many of you may have been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial when it was happening. It's over now, but during the trial, there were a lot of live streams showing live footage of the trial happening, a lot of interesting reactions coming out of that. Johnny Depp always laughing and Amber Heard looking quite angry all the time. Whatever you think of the outcome, I don't really care. What I want to talk about is some of the language that you hear quite often. It's not as part of daily speech as what you hear every day in movies and TV shows, right? So I want to talk a little bit about some of the jargon that comes out of something like this. Some of the jargon you hear. What is jargon? Jargon is a word or a phrase that's used specifically for a field, an area of expertise, like in a courtroom, like for doctors, like for teachers. There's jargon used for lots of different things. So some of the interesting jargon that we can draw out of the case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, there's one clip I found that I think covers something that you hear most often, which is objection. Objection. This is when there's a back and forth. There's a witness on the stand, and the witness is answering questions. And in this back and forth between one of the lawyers and the witness on the stand, you hear the other side, the other lawyers, the ones representing the person on the stand. So the person who's asking them questions, they're not on the same side, right? They're trying to draw out information. Then on the other side, either the well, I guess it would probably be the plaintiff's lawyer. I guess it could be either one. They're then saying sometimes objection when there's a question asked in an improper way, right? So it's a standard thing that you hear them say quite often, and there are different types of objections. So we're gonna listen to it, and then we'll try to understand what the different types of objections are. In this clip, Amber Heard is the witness on the stand, and she's being questioned by her lawyer, I believe, and then Johnny Depp's lawyer is objecting to many things. Okay, I think that's right.
Leading. Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Leading and hearsay.
Okay, leading and hearsay. So notice that the title that's given also, speaking to the judge, Johnny Depp's lawyer is saying, Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. Always have to address the judge as Your Honor. And then we'll go over the different types, or we'll look at the different types. There's an article I want to cover so that we can understand this. But let's just watch this.
Your Honor, it's prior consistent statements.
It's leading.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain
Your Honor, may I approach?
That's fine.
Objection, Your Honor.
If you heard that, may I approach? So what does approach mean? I think it means approach. That means they have an issue about something. One of the lawyers on one side is upset about how something is happening, or they need to clarify something. They'll go up to the bench, and that's where the judge is, and they'll have a private conversation.
Leading. Calls for hearsay.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Leading, I heard. Calls for hearsay.
Hearsay.
Their suggestions.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we approach? This is
Johnny Depp and that his lawyer behind.
again an
divorce,
objection.
correct?
Leading.
I
Objection.
did.
Leading.
To this.
Objection.
I did.
Leading.
All
Calls.
right, I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you.
Okay, she said there, sustain the objection. So sustain the objection means that there's an objection. They have an issue with that. And then the judge says, okay, you're right. I agree with your objection. And that means then the person asking the questions, the lawyer asking the questions, has to ask a different question or ask it in a different way, right? So they sustain it. But if they disagree, if the judge disagrees that the objection is correct or valid, then they will overrule. Objection overruled. Overruled means no, continue asking your questions. The question is fine.
Objection, Your Honor,
The
hearsay.
damage. All right, when there's objection, please stop.
Is that true or false?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor,
and
she
Hearsay and
absolutely
leading are the ones I'm hearing
It's
most
leading.
often.
Maybe
objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
relating
Lack
to
of
your
foundation.
Objection, leading,
sustained.
notes. What, I said, what if
foundation,
anything, Your Honor?
hearsay.
What if anything? It's not the cure-all. It's sustained.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation. Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation calls for speculation.
Do you recall? I'm trying.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
can't ask any question.
I'm going to object to the extent it calls for hearsay and lack of foundation
Overruled.
and improper expert opinion. Objection, Your Honor. Objection, leading.
What if anything? And that does cure on
No, it doesn't. But I'll overrule the objection.
Call that
Objection, Your
question.
Honor,
Well, there she
leading.
overrules the objection.
I'm entitled to go into what Ms. Vasquez
It's,
asked.
the objection is leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
Sustained
Objection,
objection.
leading, and hearsay.
All right. We get the idea. We get the idea.
Objection,
We get
Your
the idea.
Honor.
Okay. So what do these actually mean? Leading, hearsay, lack of foundation, these different objections. So I've got an article here, and I think we could just look at some examples of some of the common objections and just to get a general understanding of them. Okay, so one I didn't hear, I don't think I heard, was argumentative. Okay, argumentative. When you hear the words objection argumentative, you might think it means the attorney is accusing you of arguing. Okay, it's actually a legal term that means something similar to drawing conclusions. Okay, an argumentative objection. And then we can look at an example here. How often did you get your brakes checked prior to the accident? Twice a week. Okay. You expect this jury to believe that you got under your car twice a week, every week, to check your brakes? Objection, argumentative, sustained. So that means that they're no longer talking about what happened. They're talking about, basically, in this case, they're talking about someone who's the questioner is trying to get them to make an assumption about something rather than just stating the fact, rather than just stating what happened, right? Giving a conclusion rather than just stating the truth. Okay, so that's one. Calls for speculation. Speculation is a legal basis, and just be clear. I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I want to just get a sense for it together. Legal basis for objecting to witness testimony on grounds, the reason or the basis, similar to argumentative. Okay. So let's look at an example here. A man with a glorious ponytail came in and bought a newspaper with his credit card. Why did the man use his credit card instead of paying with cash? Objection, calls for speculation. If you speculate about something, you assume the reason, right? You say, oh, this must be this because of this. But that's not why they call someone up onto a witness stand, to ask them questions, not to get their assumptions about why someone is using a card instead of cash, right? Instead, just say what happened, say what's going on. Don't make your witness try to assume some reasons for something, because that could push the jury one way or the other. Okay. Why did the man have a ponytail? That's not relevant, right? It's not relevant. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Foundation is one I did hear. Foundations. We heard calls for speculation, and we heard foundation. Foundation objections are related to assumes fact, not in evidence objections. Okay, that's a little confusing. A party asks a question but has not shown the court why the witness is qualified to answer the question. Basic foundations that need to be established before the question is permissible might include personal knowledge and familiarity with the topic. Okay, so maybe they're asking a lot of questions and they start asking things that the witness actually doesn't really know anything about. Maybe they heard it from someone else. They don't know much about it. So they don't have a foundation to say whether this happened or not because they don't know anything about it. Are you a tennis player? Witness, yes. Attorney, what percentage of a tennis ball is made of rubber? Objection, lacks foundation. Sustained. Now that's kind of that one's a little too, no one would actually ask that question, right? But I think it makes it clear is you went to play tennis or you like to play tennis or you are playing tennis. That doesn't mean you know anything about tennis balls, the scientific facts of tennis balls. Non-responsive we didn't hear, right? I don't believe we heard non-responsive, but let's just read through what non-responsive means. Common objection used in court when a witness is not responding properly to questions asked under oath. Under oath means they've sworn to tell the truth. Using this evidentiary objection is crucial when you have a witness who skirts around your question, rambles on, or gives testimony that goes beyond the scope of what you asked them. Okay, so they're not really answering the question. They're not really addressing what you're asking. They're trying to avoid it. Example, in what year did you meet Bozo? We've known each other since we were students at clown school. A lot of people don't know that Bozo was quite the ladies' man. Anyway, when he got back from his second tour in Afghanistan after his divorce, objection, non-responsive. So you're talking about the divorce and being in Afghanistan. I'm not asking you about those things. I don't care. So you're not answering the question, and that would be the non-responsive objection. Pretty interesting. I think this article is very well written, and I like that they provide the little dialogue underneath to try to understand what it means. Did we miss any? Foundation, speculation. Heard that one a lot. Calls for speculation. Argumentative. Yeah, I think we covered the ones that we heard in the video, at least. So next time you are watching a movie or a courtroom TV show, drama, Law and Order, whatever it may be, at least hopefully now you have a sense for when you hear these words, objection and approach, and the different types of objections, you got an idea about it, and you know at least what they're trying to do when they say that. Because every field has its own jargon, and nobody is the expert in all of it. I'm certainly not, especially the legal stuff. So what I do when I'm not sure what something means, like when I watch this video and I think, what does argumentative objection mean? What does that mean when I hear calls for speculation? What I do is I search it and I look for an article and I find something and then I try to get an idea for it. Now I think I understand what calls for speculation means. At least I have a pretty good idea. So now when I watch that video again or see another video that's like it, I have a deeper understanding of it. And that's how knowledge gets built up. So hopefully that's useful. By the way, if you haven't already done so, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, you can check out my full courses in the links in the description.